Hey, how you doing, YouTube? Welcome back. Glad to see you here. Hey, let's see. We're gonna do this one today. It's kind of a cutie. I'm gonna use an RSVP Pentel. It's just a regular, ballpoint pen. I really like the RSVPs. They just seem to be smooth in action and they feel good in my size hand. I don't know, you might try others, but you can get them just about anywhere. They're not as ubiquitous as the Bic pens, but anyway, yeah, just fun, something to do. So this view, you'll see the picture. I put the picture at the end for you guys, so if you want to draw one of your own, as usual, you're welcome to use the picture. This little scene exists on Mountain Road. It's about 7th and Mountain, the corner of 7th and Mountain Road in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I kind of like the scene, but I also like the idea of it. Albuquerque was founded, I think, like in 1706. I believe I'm right on that. Anyway, there were people living there before that, but this building, Mountain Road, it's one of the two roads that go directly from Old Town toward the mountains. So if you, back then, in those days, if you left town, which was a very small circumference, if you drew a little circle around the town, the mountains are like 18 miles away. It was a little spot of a town down by the river, and you would go up this road and head toward the mountains. So anyway, the buildings, I don't have any real history on them, but they look of the type, I believe they're probably fairly old, 100 years or more, at least most of them. These, the road, for instance, the road is one lane each way and skinny. You know what I mean? The road was obviously, those buildings were built back in a time when probably wagons went up and down the road instead of cars. So I love the antiquity of it. Nothing like coffee in the morning. Took the dogs for a good walk this morning. Went down to the park. And my one dog, he's getting pretty old. I don't know how much longer I'm having to foreshorten my walks to accommodate his ability. And it's going to be sad when he goes. We've had him quite a while. So anyway, yeah, these the buildings, I change it quite a bit. And you may have noticed when I drew the roof of that building that's in the center there, I went a little uphill. My intention was to make a dip, to make it like an old, I don't know what happened. I have no excuse. But I did go a little bit uphill there. And I do make a repair. You'll see at the end of the video here, you'll see what I do with that. I kind of bring the trees down on the roof a little bit. And even after the video was made, I went back in and darkened up the trees where they meet the roof of that center building even more, made a little bit more shadow, and it looks pretty cool. I may do it again. I do a lot of them a few times because I either give them away or sometimes I sell them, turn them into postcards, things like that. So, but it's a fun little project. These adobes, I believe these buildings were all made out of adobe. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure they are. I'm just guessing. I haven't stopped and asked people the history of these buildings. And there's a few of them down the road. You know, there's what was, I believe, probably the old general store, and it's now another business down the road from this. And there's a couple of gas stations. One gas station disappeared recently. It was torn down on Mountain and 12th and turned into cute little shops. You know, you can go there. It's one of the things there is one of those tea places where you can go and have a nice leisurely cup of tea and just enjoy an hour with good friends or family. And there's a trendy restaurant across the street from that is in what used to be, here again, I assume like a general store or a, saddlery or something like that. I do take a little license with this one. You know, I usually do. For instance, the building in the middle, I'm going to make it brown. Kind of an umber, one of the umber twins here. And I use a lot of sienna and a lot of umber. Mostly because they're so prevalent here around where I live. I also like the earth tones. The building, when you see the picture, I believe it's really white or off blue or something like that. I don't recall. But I wanted the Barber Shop to stand out. So anyway, I'm going to let a little bit of music play here, and I'll get back to you at the end here. I love that little stovepipe I just put in. There obviously, I don't think there was one there, but they are kind of, they're sprinkled throughout New Mexico in little small towns and things like that. I love when they run the stovepipe out the side of the building. I don't know what makes it look cool to me. But I enjoy throwing them in when I get the opportunity. So yeah, my objective is not really to copy a scene, it's to try and make something that's cute and fun. And hopefully some of you guys that are artists, I don't know who's watching, but if anybody, but if you're an aspiring artist, you know, maybe it gives you a little something to practice from. They're not very difficult paintings. This, I think, took me probably 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I wouldn't think much more than that. You can see I've got it sped up quite a bit, and the whole video is probably around 16 minutes. So, I mean, they don't take a lot of time. I just enjoy doing them. It's kind of, although I do use some of them I do make into cards, but for me, really, these little watercolor drawings are kind of a warm-up for me. I like to do oil paintings. I do a lot of landscapes, but I have to tell you, oils, these little sketches have just become my guilty pleasure over the last few years. They're just fun. So a little shadow here and there. And if you're ever in Albuquerque, of course, 7th and Mountain. There's another kitty corner from this. Is a pretty cool place. It's a Harwood. It used to be, I believe, a girls' school back in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Now it's an art community. They run classes out of there. It's not a community. It's more like a, I guess, kind of a school. They have classes there and art exhibits and things of that nature. And I'm curious if anybody knows. You could leave a comment. There's also a Harwood Museum up in Taos, New Mexico, and I wonder. I assume that the two are connected. You know, that they're part and parcel of the same thing. I can't think of the guy's name right now. If you ever saw the movie Easy Rider, Sidekick, there was Henry Fonda and what's the other guy's name? I can't think of it. But anyway, they have a life-size portrait of him, the Sidekick, up there in the Harwood Museum up in Taos. So I'm just sprinkling a little bit of earth tones around and a little bit of foreground here, making a little bit of movement in there. And obviously I take license. That telephone pole, I think I moved that from somewhere else. And the lamp post I moved over a little bit because it was not where I wanted it. Add a little bit here and there. I think if I do this one again, I'm going to make that center one have a kind of a rusty roof. I love those rusted old tin roofs. And I'm definitely going to give it a little bit of a sway the next time. Like a sway back horse. A lot of times I just give them away. And the mat should come up here in just a minute after a few more inked in details. I'm recording this on my cell phone. I have a Cintiq, is the only computer that I have that's powerful enough to, I use it for sketching on, obviously, but it's the only computer that's powerful enough to run Premiere Pro at a reasonable speed. But the Cintiq has no sound input. There's no microphone, so hopefully the sound quality is reasonable. Anyway, here's a map, and have a look. I think I bring the camera down a little closer here after I sign it. Well, it's a cute little picture, huh? The photograph's coming up. If you want to hang on to the end, you will. You can see the little repair I did there on top. But anyway, the credits are going to roll, and then the photograph will be sitting there if you want to use it and do something of your own. So, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Even if you don't like them, why, just let them play through. Don't just set it aside and watch your television while it plays. Not really. All right. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.